Learn to conquer your nerves with EyeBrain Control. Do you get sweaty palms, a dry mouth, and butterflies in your stomach when you have to get up and make a presentation? Well, you're not alone. It's well known that any kind of public speaking or presenting is one of the scariest activities for business people. In fact, surveys over the years have regularly put fear of public speaking right up there with fear of heights, fear of insects, and even fear of death. We're going to share a technique called EyeBrain Control that will help you control your nerves, enable you to connect better with your listeners, and even allow you to gauge your audience's reactions to what you're saying. When most of us stand in front of an audience, and it doesn't matter whether it's a large or a small one, we tend to scan the room. We either move our eyes rapidly from side to side, or we glance in a random darting motion from point to point. This tendency comes from a nervous, almost primal instinct to see everything and everyone all at once. When you scan an audience, what happens? A blur. What's happening is that the more you scan, the more information you take in. Colors, shapes, facial expressions, movement by audience members, all sorts of information that is actually irrelevant to you bombards your brain as you try to remember what to say. The faster you scan, the more information your brain receives, and the more nervous you become. You've created a state of information overload for your brain. It will then be harder and harder to remember what you want to say, and in the worst case, you might just draw a complete blank. Have you ever experienced this? It's frightening, isn't it? And that experience isn't going to make you feel any better about giving another presentation. The solution is really fairly simple. Talk to one person at a time. Actually, lock eyes with one listener and deliver one complete thought. Yes, lock eyes with one person and deliver one complete thought. We call this technique EyeBrain Control because you're actually using your eyes to control and lessen the amount of input to your brain. What happens when you practice EyeBrain Control? The one person with whom you lock eyes will be in clear focus, no blurring, and therefore the amount of stimulus to your brain goes way down, leaving your brain free to concentrate on the message you're delivering. And with less stimulus to the brain, you'll feel far less nervous. This is a simple, straightforward technique, but it does take a bit of practice because our instincts push us in the opposite direction. Here are some tips for practicing EyeBrain Control. If you're alone in your office or at home, pick out or place a couple of objects around the room. Perhaps the mirror on the wall across from you, the flowers on the table in front, pillow on your chair. You get the point. If you happen to have photographs of people to work with, place them around the room. You can look right into the face of someone in each photo. Now, pick a subject that you know very well. It could be describing a hobby, or your kids, or explaining what it is you do at work. Look at one of your selected objects and start talking. Complete a thought while looking directly at the object. If you catch yourself glancing elsewhere, look back and start again. After a complete thought, which should be approximately 5 seconds, move your eyes to the next object and deliver the next thought. At first it will feel funny, but remember, that's just because it's not habit yet. Keep at it. Practice will make a difference. And of course, you don't have to wait until you're delivering your next formal presentation. You can try EyeBrain Control in your next discussion with a group of people. Look directly at one person and deliver a complete thought. Then move your eyes to the next person and deliver the next thought. You'll find that this technique works just as well in small, informal settings as it does in larger, more formal ones. Keep practicing the EyeBrain Control technique at home and in any group setting, and you'll be ready the next time that you have to make a formal presentation. So, let's review the benefits of EyeBrain Control. You'll reduce nervousness, because when you talk to one person at a time, you've essentially emptied the room, except for that one person. There's less distraction, less pressure, and therefore less nervousness. You'll be able to think more clearly, because the smaller amount of stimulus leaves your brain freer to concentrate on what it is you want to say. You'll be able to read your audience, because you look at individuals long enough for them to feel connected to you, and you'll see any reactions to what you're saying. So remember, lock eyes with one person and deliver one complete thought. Then lock eyes with another person and deliver the next thought. Thanks for using Communispond's LearnTO Conquer Nerves with Effective EyeBrain Control. For more information about Communispond's products and services, check our website at www.communispond.com.